But it's necessary. Okay. Alright. Let's do stuff. Bubblegum, who are you, by the way? Literally who? So I guess we'll just get started. So we are doing double chocolate cookies. Wait, you're Vale? What the frick? Didn't you have wasn't your name Valet last time you were on my stream? Why'd you change it? You silly head. Okay, whatever. Thanks, Vale, for being my one and only true fan. All other fans of mine are fake. Alright. Let's get started. So, with a brick of butter in places that sell by bricks. Still loud? Okay. Got butterfingers now. Let's drop that. Oh. There we go. Can't even hear it now. Perfect. There we go. Okay, yeah, I can't really like monitor stuff all too well, so I'll try my best and just keep letting you know how things is. Okay, so for places that sell things, sell butter by the brick instead of the cylinder or what have you. Halfway is 1 cup, so 1 cube of butter is 1 cup, and that's how much butter we need right there. So, wow, sriracha sauce dropping in on the stream. Welcome. Two of my biggest fans. Perfect. Alright, now my hands will be sufficiently unbuttered. Vale, tell me how the audio levels are for stuff and things. If my music's too loud, if my laptop fans are too loud, let me know, and I'll do what I can. Oh yeah. Oh, you'll try them, alright. Okay, so here is our recipe. Double chocolate cookies. Why isn't the autofocus working? Maybe I just... But that's... Probably not, because this can is tiny. So... Actually... Production value out in the wazoo. There you go. That's the recipe. Beautiful. Here's the instructions. Bake. Cool. So for these ones, we do bake them for a lot less time and a lot lower temps than most cookies because it's such a it's just such a dense cookie, and so it needs less heat so that it doesn't burn quite as easily. So with all cookies, we start with our what's called the base, which is your butter and your sugar. Perfect. Okay, good enough. Can you hear the music at all? Because I can't. I would like to, though. Yeah, I bumped it up. Probably. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. I might just cut the music for you guys. Whatever. So, cookies start with your base, which is your butter and your sugars. Sometimes it's just white. Sometimes it's white and brown. Rarely is it ever just butter and brown. I don't even know what recipes do that. I don't have a measuring cup, though. That's cool. That's not clean. Okay, the inside is clean, so that's good. Okay. So, reading thing. So we need two cups. 1 white sugar. Wow, that was 2 cups. Jeez. Smokes, just empty this freaking container. Nice. Okay. So that's 2 cups. Right there. Bop, in it goes. Message redacted. Jeez. What are you saying, Bill? Say illegal things over there. Okay. And I did this time bust out my mixer. So I've decided that's just easier to do. And if you do have an electric mixer, there's different attachments that go with them often. These are like regular beaters. Got some whisks, and these little swirly ones are specifically made for very hard, dense things like cookie dough. So these ones are usually used for cookie dough. I don't know really any other batters or doughs that these would be used for, but since you can see just how much thicker they are in comparison to the metal on these other whisks, it's thicker by a bit, not a crazy amount, but enough. So yeah, they're usually quite thicker because they have to work a little harder. So those right now. Pop them in. So once you have your butter and your sugar, you want to cream your base. And how you do that is just like this on a very low speed. You don't want to fluff it up because fluffy cookies are stupid. So we're not going to do that. So, I guess I'll just keep the audio on. It will be pretty hard at first to get it creamed well, but persistence is key. If you can see that well on that mixer, it's only on the very first setting, the lowest setting. You do not want to go much higher than that. The more we add to this, the more we will be, the higher the settings will be. But right now, when we're just creaming our base, don't want to go higher. If you're in a rush and you didn't already have softened butter, then maybe you would want to choose a higher setting, but not like this. Since my butter was already pretty warm. I probably will get at this with a spoon of some kind, or a rubber spatula, just to really bring it all together a little easier, because there's not too much moisture in here as it is, but we'll see if it comes back on its own. I doubt it will, though. Kind of is. But first step done. Let's get the other spoon. Just want to make sure that it gets all packed in together. It's important. Now we're doing what the mixer could not do for us. The mixer somewhat evenly distributes the sugar and butter, but you can't really bring it back like this. So you want it to be like this when you can, so that things mix together evenly. So that is good enough. What is next? Eggs and vanilla. I feel like I should double up this batch because when I make it, it's never enough. I should do like another half, I think. No. Wait. No. Not today. Not today. Okay. 1 egg in. 2. Whoa, don't put your shells in your mix. That will give you a big crunch you don't want. Okay. Eggs, vanilla, 2 teaspoons. You don't really need a measuring cup for that. It's 1, 2, good enough. And so this is one of the recipes where we do our base and then we mix our wet ingredients with the base. Sometimes it's dry first, sometimes it's dry without the base. Lots of different ways to do things, but we will now combine these. Again, we're still on our lowest setting. And it's nice working with one of the recipes that starts with a wet base because it's a lot easier to continue to add the ingredients. Whereas if you start with a dry base, it's just not fun. Mix all that. You want to make sure it's well combined every time. If you are using an electric mixer, you don't want to do it for too long because it will, it'll do a couple of things. First of all, it'll make your batter, your dough, very fluffy. I'm not a fan of fluffy cookies. I like them somewhat dense, and so I don't want to make it too fluffed. And then also, if you're mixing for too long, then it will start to heat up the dough and it will start sort of cooking things a little bit and way earlier than you want it to. So it's good to keep that mitigated. This is a teaspoon. Teaspoon is 5 mils, 5 milliliters. 5 mils. So 5 milliliters is a teaspoon. Milliliter is the same thing as a cubic centimeter, as well as a gram. It's all the same. Okay. I'm going to hedge my bets on this soda. Because I don't have time to care. There's only 1 teaspoon of this. I would be inclined to check my baking soda, but I just don't have time to care. Baking soda done. Salt. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon there. In case you care, I'm using Kirkland brand sea salt. So, and your curiosity has been satiated. Okay. I'm gonna mix this. I can't remember for sure, but I'm fairly certain lumpy baking soda is a sign of not the best baking soda that you could have. I feel like that's the case. Once again, don't want to beat it for too long in case we frick it up. So. Okay, and then the cocoa. Only 3/4 of a cup in this. We don't use a lot of cocoa for this recipe, surprisingly. There's more sugar than cocoa in this right now, which is pretty surprising to me, but... Is that 3/4? Part of the ruckus. That's about what we need right there. About 3/4 of a cup right there. This later. Optionally, even though this is a higher fat cocoa, this could be considered normal cocoa. Even though it's regular cocoa, you can add more of this if you would like to have a more dark, chocolatey flavor. So, but this is good for like just like sort of a semi-sweet kind of chocolatey flavor. So, mix this as well. As I mentioned, you want to wear a shirt that you don't really care about when you do this, because it gets pretty messy sometimes. So this is just like, this isn't a shirt that I wear all the time. So, if you can see the cocoa dust, it's not really showing up on camera, but it creates a lot of cocoa dust. So, you want to wear some clothes that you don't mind getting a little dirty. Yeah, immediately after the cocoa, it's a lot, tremendously, noticeably harder to deal with, even with an electric beater. And you can see we got a lot of stuff on the sides. So that's another reason having a spoon around will help. So tap it down. That didn't do anything. So just try to push it all back in and make it nice and evenly mixed. Also, you look like popcorn. Got him. Got you good, bro. I guess a rubber spatula would be better for this kind of job, but I said I was going to use a spoon and I'm not going to dirty another dish, so here we are. Alright, you sort of just want to fold in the stuff that's been on the sides so that it gets a little closer to the center and easier to work with. Go. Just scrape it off on here. Boppity. Alright, round 2 with the cocoa. That's good enough there. And the least fun part is the flour. Flour is always the worst thing to add. It requires the most muscle. So, why don't I have a scoop? Tupperware scoops for all your baking needs. 2 cups. A little bit much. I'm taking some out, but if you are taking some out at this point, you want to be careful you don't mix other ingredients in here. So you don't want to scoop things out close to the edge because you can see there's some cocoa in there. So just be careful if you do need to take some out. Alright, time for fun. Just kidding. And since we are using an electric beater, we could dump all this in at once, all at once if we wanted to, since it will be a little bit easier to manage, but I'm just not going to do that. So, this way, pretty much done at 325. Just get that covered in cocoa and flour. Alright, here we go. And you can here you should be able to hear the mixer. It even sounds like it's struggling just a little bit, but that's okay because we can just pick it up a notch. You remember that song from Phineas and Ferb? It'll be, although I don't necessarily feel like we need to right now. But I probably will. Yeah, okay, here we go. Now I'm feeling it. Now I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Oh, boys. Whew. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is not fun. Once the flour goes in, fun has ended. Like I said, don't do it for too long. Okay. This is the super unfun part. You're gonna hear this mixer working extra hard in a minute, so. Yeah. So I just had to bump it up. But if you do that, remember you don't do it for too long. Like I said, it's gonna start to cook things if you are doing it for a really long time. So, after things are a little better mixed, I'm gonna knock it back down. Just so that I don't overwork my dough. Woo. Still a bunch of stuff on the sides, so I might get my spoon back for that. And yeah, like I said, you probably want a rubber spatula instead. Remember, it's more than just scraping the stuff off the sides. You also want to fold it in and bring it back into the center of your dough as best as you can. So, even though the mixer is the one that's going to be mixing things well back in together, we will need to help it out because, like you're saying earlier, it's not good enough on its own. No. cookie dough. Definitely cookie dough. Alright. Let's mix it up one last time. Good enough. And that is chocolate cookie dough without the chocolate chips. Look at that. Cool. Looks like a mud pie. Certainly not as smooth as other doughs or batters, but that's because we've been using the electric mixer, so stuff is sort of broken up a bit. Now the best part, white chocolate chips. These are gonna look so good, so beautiful. And recipes, you know, they give you measurements for stuff. You don't really need to measure these. That's one bag. That was 225 grams. One package. That's like the standard size package for most places. Okay. Now we'll mix this up, and if this happens to not be enough chocolate chips, what I will do is I'm going to add some milk chocolate chips, and that is going to instantaneously change this from a double chocolate to a triple chocolate. So that's cool. Alright, let's mix them up. Lowest setting once again. And you don't really need to go higher than 1 anyways, because we're not necessarily mixing what I would say volatile ingredients are, because chocolate chips, it's just sort of a topping, if you will. So it doesn't quite need that extra help, because we're just folding them in, as they say. So now we're actually folding it in like we do traditionally. And it's called folding it because we're basically like folding our dough. So that may be enough. However, I might just throw these in anyway, just because I can. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. If you want to check out the process of tempering chocolate, it's a very interesting process, and someone that does a lot of cool food stuff on stream, Mike Sci, Mike SCI on Twitch, does a lot of cool food stuff, I would highly recommend you guys check him out for someone a little more professional than I am. He's very funny, very talented, very smart, and I will shout him out every time I do food stuff because he's just so great. Alright. So, yeah, I think that was actually a perfect amount of chocolate chips and dough. Looks good to me. There we go. Cool. Awesome. Alright. And I'll close that back up. I think that's close, but we'll see. Alright, cool. And now, cookie dough, chocolate cookie dough with chocolate chips. Whoa! And yes, once again, it does look lumpy. That's because it is a cocoa dough base. So, and we use the electric mixer, so it's going to look a little wacky. So, you can take a gander at that in all of its beauty. Do a thing. Oh. There we go. And hopefully you can get okay. Oh, seems like you can hear me even better now. Crazy. Alright. And there's that.
Yeah, it's not basic, eh? I mean, if you only read the surface stuff and you don't go deep into the
I've made this recipe a few times. I think this is my third time now.
Because I have not actually taught this before.
So. Okay. Alright, I won't really be able to read things because I'm going to be all the way over here, so. Yeah. So 3:25. If you hear maniacal laughter, it's just my family.
Sriracha sauce was just saying, I love this cooking show.
Oh, thank you.
That's why I was laughing.
Thank you. It's the best cooking show on YouTube. On the whole internet. Oh, crazy. Okay, so, Vale, are you saying this, this mic quality is better than the one you were just hearing? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. So, now that we have got the front end and the back end of the verse section sorted, that we know that
Because I was using an integrated laptop microphone, so.
basically overcome and to stand.
That's what you get for laptop mics. And so for this dough, it doesn't really spread like normal dough does. And you want to shape it up into more of a cookie shape like this. So you need to help it out because it's so dense. So when you shape it up, it has to be somewhat flat, but not like super ultra flat, because it still does spread a bit, but it does need some help. So really, the laptop mic was that bad? Gosh. Alright, I'll just use this mic from now on then. So I remember feeling the necessity to flatten these out more than I thought I needed to. So these are gonna be interesting. I'm still kind of learning as I go, so.
For example, I drive a lot. I don't think about car accidents. But when I have got it in my head, a sense of...
That's so funny. I'll have to review the footage and see just what the difference is like. Oh geez. Oh yeah. I think the recipe earlier said, I think 9 to 12 minutes. But depending on how thick you make them here on the tray, I would say shorten that up to somewhere around 7 minutes. To about 13. I think that's what it was last time. I remember editing one of my recipes to be like that, so. So, this is the boring part. You guys can come back in some time after they're done baking, and I won't be offended, because there's a whole lot of nothing going on here. And no, you don't grease the tray, because this batter dough already has some butter in it, and also these are non-stick trays. So.
It is. So
yeah.
we're not doing warfare every day, all day long. That's exhausting. No, God wants to be at peace, and He wants to be giving you rest. And so most of the time it's just peace and rest.
But if you're a real fan, you'll stick around.
So let's go through there's 6 pieces.
I guess for anyone that's still here, we have time for a Q&A. Ask me anything in the world, and I will give you the correct answer. Anything at all.
Zeph, can I have a fork?
You can get one yourself. That camera's not on.
Okay.
Any hard-hitting questions?
So what you'll notice.
Any questions of the universe you guys have been pondering?
Defensive armor. There's only one offensive armor. It's the word of... Yeah, the word of God is offensive. that's the thing, like, when we preach the gospel,
My hands are getting stuck.
it's offensive to them. To those that are seeking life, it is life. It is like a man in a desert finding an oasis of water. It's life for those who are seeking life. It is offensive to those that are perishing. I don't know where it says it in there. It says it apparently.
Yeah, I remember flattening these out quite a bit last time. I might flatten them out even more just now. I'll have some kind of like barometer here, some gauge of some kind. I'll do like super flat to like less flat.
The people that are perishing. And it is life to them that are seeking God.
Yes, they did.
Example of
Because it is.
perishing
People are offended by it.
action like that.
Right. People try to preach they face prosecution. So, persecution, I mean.
I think of Jesus when he was
So it's true.
talking to the Pharisees. The Pharisees were the spiritual leaders of the Jewish people, or the children of Israel. And
Wow, that looked like there was a shard of glass in here. That was very concerning.
On their own. I'm fine. I obeyed all the commandments, all the letter of the law, not the spirit of the law. I've obeyed
That
all
one was
the
very
letter of
much
the law.
too thick, I could tell.
I can justify myself.
I've had to pat these down quite a bit.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, I obeyed the law. I'm justifying myself. The law cannot say I am not obeying it. Jesus sees right through that. And he calls them vipers. And when Jesus talks about the spirit of the law, they hate it so much they plot to kill him. That's their reaction to him. So they are perishing. And their reaction to him showing the spirit of the law, it makes them go nuts.
Oh gosh. It is very sticky on these edges.
Maybe if I look up the word viper, I'd be able to get quickly. I don't know where one of those conversations is.
Oh gosh. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all this dough. Not a whole lot left, so I think I can be rather liberal with my space on the extra tray. Oh my.
He's criticizing them for leaving out the most important part of the law.
Yeah, these cookies are pretty volatile to deal with. It's very strange how they cook up. So you kind of have to hover around. You can't really set a timer and then leave. kind of have to be here.
Perfect, perfect. This is an example.
Ugh, actually, I might take everything that I can here. Just make like one big old super cookie.
Now do you Pharisees make clean the outside of the cup and the platter, but your inward part is full of ravening and wickedness. You fools, did not he that made that which is without make that which is within also? But rather give alms as offerings of such things as we have. Behold, all things are clean unto you. But woe unto you, Pharisees, for ye tithe mint and rue and all manner of herbs, and pass over the judgment and the love of God. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the others undone. So, they'll tithe their mint, 10% of their mint out of their garden, to the Levitical priests that run the synagogue. Every other tribe other than Levi.
Alright, there we go. That's our last cookie right there.
So that the Levites
Huge. Beautiful.
100% of what they need to survive. So,
There we go.
tithing was originally for the Levitical priest tribe that rotated in doing duties in the synagogue. And they do it for a month and then they have their time off.
There we go. Perfect. So it makes 2 trays.
Their cousin would go.
Wonderful.
And so there was always
Alright.
not allowed.
Oh, that's a good dough. I'm happy with that. I have a feeling this one right here is gonna be a little undercooked, but that's the thing. So with this, so since it's a little trickier to cook, it's hard. With cookies, you kind of want to underbake them a little bit so that they're nice and moist inside, and with just a little bit of a crunch on top, and so it's very specific to gauge. So we're gonna set a.
Woe unto you, Pharisees, for ye tithe mint and rue and all manner of herbs.
I'm gonna set an 8-minute timer for these ones.
It's weird because
And then they go. 8 minutes.
they gave it.
I don't know if you can see that at all,
I'll use myself an example.
but
So
there you go. 8
things from
minutes.
time to time
Done.
will give
Alright.
to continue the ministry that we have running.
There we go. That should go. Oh, that's cool. Oh man, that was interesting. Okay. I know. I'm trying to use this. So, trying to use this cam over here. Trying to use the webcam audio. So, let me find a way. Wait. Interesting. Okay. Wait. What? No. So stupid. Strange. Okay, well, at least I'm getting things sorted out. Okay, here we go. Let's try that. 2. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's probably marginally better, so you should be hearing this camera's audio right now as opposed to the laptop. So it should be different now. I would be very surprised if you told me that it wasn't. It should be, I mean, it might not be better, it might be different, it might be louder, but necessarily better, who knows. Let's pop these off. And throw all of our other stuff away. So, yeah, tell me if it's any better, Vale. Much better. Wow. That's mildly surprising. That's actually pretty surprising, gotta say. That cook might take a little while. Okay. Okay, so there's no Q&A for me. I got a Q&A for you. Have you guys ever had double chocolate cookies? So it's like a chocolate cookie dough with like chocolate chips. Have you ever had that before? I bet you have. Someday or another. You likely have. I used to get them a bunch when I went to Subway for my lunches. So, no? That's surprising. That's surprising. You probably have and just, like, forgot. Okay. I have another question for you. Are you guys staying hydrated? Wow, my audio peaked at that? That's funny. I laughed. Where did my... Drink water. Do it. Do it. I'm gonna peer pressure you into staying hydrated. I dare you. I double doggy triple dare you. And if you don't do it, you're gonna have achy bones. You're gonna be a creaky old man.
thing has a little pocket for like the cable. Creaky Old Man? I don't know. 12 Angry Men is the name of a movie. I don't know about Creaky Old Man though. Here, let's find out. Creaky Old Man movie. Grumpy Old Men. Is that the name of a movie? The 100-year-old man who climbed out the window and disappeared. Okay, that's a choice. Wow, that's really quite amazing, I gotta say. My gosh. Dum-dum. Are you calling me a dum-dum? That's kind of rude. I don't think I can have that kind of negativity in my stream. Oh! Norwegian? I don't know. Where was it made? Oh! Alright, it might be. Hold on. Let's see, because it has a different name. And it looks like it could be Norwegian. I'm gonna try and say this, okay? Tell me how bad I do. Hundrar ingen som klev ut genom fönstret och forsvann. How'd I do? Let me know. Oh gosh. I've made a mistake. Okay. 100-year-old man dude that disappeared. Cool. So I've done something rather interesting. I think because of the beaters, the batter sort of fluffed up, and my cookies, they spread out a lot. More than any batch of double chocolate cookies I have ever done. So my cookies are going to look real funny. There's like, what is it called? Like a batch bake. That's what it is. It's called a batch bake. And so that's basically what I just did to my cookies. So that's cool. Okay, let me I want to see where it took place. Storyline, tagline, genre. Did you know? Entertaining black comedy, a la Forrest Gump. Okay, let's do the good old translate. Yeah, so Google Translate says that's Swedish. Okay, so my cookies are looking real funny right about now. Oh, hold up.
So that I'm ready to give a good report of the good things Jesus has done in my life.
What? What are you
Because
talking about?
there's no combating that. If
Okay,
you
fine.
want somebody to know Jesus, you
Okay.
tell them what Jesus
Okay.
has done for you. And they can't
Yeah.
say to your experience.
Oh, actually, hold up.
The Bible never said that.
Oh gosh.
No,
Toe
they
cramp.
left that in the Bible.
Toe cramp.
Or,
Okay. Oh no, this is not the time to have a toe cramp. Ooh. Bruh. Okay. If you have a metal spatula, you can use this and just like scrape the tops of the cookies. If they're if they're very soft, you may want to wait a little bit more time, but you don't want to wait too long, because like I said, you want to underbake them a little bit so that when they rest and have time to settle, they'll be very, very soft and chewy later on. So I'm tempted to take them out momentarily, so I'm not going to keep a timer on or anything. I'm just going to play it by ear, as they say. These are so close to being done, boys. I think it's a little bit undercooked still, so I'm going to leave that in for just a bit. Maybe put a timer on for 1 minute right now.
I don't know which thing I'm using right now.
Okay. So that's what we did. Yeah, so when it starts cracking like that, you're done. Don't leave them in anymore. Those are going to rest, and those are going to be very, very moist. So, that's what we did. Frickin' batch baked cookies. Yep. Oh, batch baked cookies. Isn't that a sight? Isn't that just something?
If we don't have our shield of faith up and our shield of faith is down, that hotness is gone, is dead. And it can set it on fire. And it is not healthy. It will kill you spiritually. But because we have the shield of faith, we pick it up and we do not doubt. We refuse to doubt that God is who He says He is, that Jesus is who He says He is.
And there we go.
Positive Holy Spirit as He says He is.
Batch baked cookies. I didn't mean to make a batch bake, but after those settle up, it's about between 6 and 10 minutes, depending on stuff.
Boom. I'm back. Alright, I don't which cam audio I'm using. I think it's this one.
So now the reason that faith is actually God's is because God gives the gift of faith to those who he calls and whom he chooses. So we receive the gift of faith. It's ours to use, but it still comes from God. So even that aspect of our
I don't know.
armor,
I could be. I don't know. I'm using one of the cams right now, so it's probably not the laptop audio. But yeah. So we got our stuff. Yeah. Once they settle up, they'll be nice. So our last look at our batch baked cookies. Yeah. So here you go. Alright, I guess I'll stop things here. And yeah, thanks for popping by. And don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below, share the video with a friend. Let's hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the day, and everyone gets a free t-shirt. Alright. Thanks.